We have a special order number 40, which came in the Daryl Gates administration. Years later, we need to modify it to address the current issues. The issues that affect the police today in the community are not the same as when Daryl Gates was the chief of police.
Is LA's immigration policy, Special Order 40, outdated and outmoded by current gang violence? Does it harbor and protect illegal alien gang members? Well, what's happened is that the LAPD now can ask for identification.
But they can't ask without cause. That's the issue about racial profiling. That's the issue about immigration raids. So we can't ask for your identification without cause.
Well, if you want information, that's cause, isn't it?
Well, what's the reason for information? We have to have a reason.
Well, you tell us, because you're out there in the field.
It's called reasonable cause, probable cause. You have to have a reason to stop. Just because you see some guy walking down the street with baggy clothes and looks like a gangbanger, you can't just pull over and say, let me see your ID. You've got to have some reason. There's got to be some legitimate reason, some cause. It's called fruit of the poison tree. If you don't have a justified reason, whatever you find is thrown out in court. So there's certain laws that we have to work under, and that's just part of the premise of American democracy and the Constitution that we live under.
Is it a crime to be a gang member?
No. It's not. You can be a gang. It's not illegal to be a gang member. But if you're a gang member and you get arrested for littering and you're illegal, then they could use immigration custom enforcement.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to amend Special Order 40. We're trying to give the police officers a chance to fix the federal immigration rules, which says that if you're in the country 6 months, when you're in the country illegally, you get caught 6 months in the county jail. So that means when you come over here from day one, you have a warrant on you.
I've heard the dad, Jamiel Sr., I've heard him many times, Mr. Shaw Sr., that they want to go after the gangbangers. That's what they want to do. And that's exactly what my Special Number 40 modification does, strictly against the gangbangers. And that's why I say, who's going to be opposed to it? You're a gangbanger, you're in cow gang, so we know you're a gangbanger, and we determine you're illegal. I mean, how much cleaner, how much simpler can it be?
After the shocking murder of Jamiel Shaw II, Councilman Zine offered a motion in the City Council to modify Special Order 40 in an attempt to deter preventable murders, like the 17-year-old Jamiel Shaw. He was met with intense resistance.
So all of a sudden I come up with this order with my staff to say, let's come up with a new policy. Let's do a motion to modify Special Number 40. All of a sudden, it was like the grenades were launching. All of a sudden, we're going to invade the neighborhoods. And the people came out and said, you can't do this. The chief of police says this is not right. We need to stay where we are. We don't want to go do an immigration raids. And I'm not saying immigration raids. I'm saying very narrow focused.
And we don't enforce zoning laws, and we don't enforce building and safety code laws, too. There are other jurisdictions which enforce those laws. So we have to say, this is the responsibility of the INS.
Well, Special Rule 40 has not been changed, and I don't see it being changed. I don't think LAPD should be in the business of immigration. That's the Immigration Department.
Special Order 40 still remains a policy that is strongly supported by the Mayor, City Council, Police Commission, and myself as Chief of Police. I don't have a particular problem with it.
All I'm asking for is an officer who stops an individual who is a gang member, and they have to verify they're a gang member, not just, well, because you have baggy pants or you're wearing a T-shirt and you may have a tattoo. Not possibly, but the process of verification they're a gang member. If they make an arrest, that arrest goes through the process, and that individual is then held for immigration custom enforcement. So once the criminal proceedings are complete, then that person can be deported.
This doesn't seem to be an extraordinary change. No huge modification. Just a simple tweak applied to known gang members.
That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for something so common sense, so reasonable, and why I'm getting resistance from the police department, absolutely, I find amazing.
We asked him, what arguments is he hearing to protest his simple modification?
You know what? I've heard slippery slope, slippery slope. That's what I've heard. What's a slippery slope? The slippery slope. Well, now you're going to do immigration raids. We're not asking for immigration raids. We're asking for a minor modification. Oh, slippery slope. I've heard that from a number of people. Slippery slope.
So what's the difference? We asked Mr. Steve Ibsen to help us sort it out.
I think Jamiel's law is a broader application. It requires an aggressive effort by the city to locate, identify, and report to INS foreign invading gang members, to aggressively look for them. Dennis Zine's proposal is a modification of Special Order 40. It doesn't eliminate it, but it allows the police that when they do have a suspect who has committed a crime, so it's a post-crime effort, that they're allowed to report those people to INS. Jamiel's law then doesn't require a new crime. It just says, let's look for the bad guys, let's look for the foreign agents, the foreign terrorists, the foreign gang members, and seek to deport them before the crime happens.
The problem with that is if it doesn't pass muster with the law of the land, the Constitution, the limitations, it gets thrown out. Right. I have no question what I'm doing is right. No question that Special Order 40 needs to be modified. It needs to be modified to give the cops the tools to do their job. And it needs to send the message to gangbangers, if you're going to terrorize, don't do it in Los Angeles. The welcome mat is no longer out for gangbangers in the city of Los Angeles. If you're an illegal gangbanger, it's a double unwelcome mat.
You can watch this program in its entirety as a full disclosure subscriber, or you can purchase the DVD on our website. Full Disclosure will continue to bring you the news behind the news.